He was known as the Wild Thing.
Simon Curl's fan club was out in force and the Blonde Bomber didn't disappoint.
Bad boy and controversial were attributes that occasionally landed him in the headlines in the 90s and 2000s. The former Brisbane Bullet and Townsville Crocodile held a fiercely earned reputation as one of the most intense athletes in the NBL. But nowadays, Simon Curl's turned over a new leaf. And while his wild days of basketball are behind him, he still carries that same intensity and passion in his career as a personal trainer and development coach.
Pretty vicious for you pack a mean punch for a little girl.
I won't tell you what I'm visualising on the pads.
Your husband better not mess around, otherwise you might cop a little left-right hook.
Listen, could you imagine your life without sport in it post being a professional athlete?
I don't think so. I think one of the things when I was finishing basketball, I was in a lot of different business things, but being in the health and fitness industry was something I always loved, and I always prided myself when I did play on taking my training to different levels. So I work with a lot of high-end corporate people and successful business people, and they're extremely stressed on a day-to-day level. So just getting their diet right, just doing a little bit of exercise, and just little things like, little meditation things that help them clear their mind and slow down their life is very beneficial.
Simon offers one-on-one coaching sessions here at Fighting for Fitness at Albion Park Raceway.
The one thing is, most people treat their cars better than they treat their bodies. So you've only got one body, you've only got one life, so you really have to look after it.
Simon certainly is a changed man, and since retirement he's lived in the heart of Newstead. So over the 15-odd years, he's seen this place change with him.
So much development, but there's still some really incredible little pockets around that not too many people take advantage of, and one of them's Newstead Park. And fortunately for me, I get to walk through it every day to visit my new passion and my new love.
This is your way to work.
This is the way.
Simon's found his zen, and his big focus these days is Raw Power Yoga Studio, which has just opened in Breakfast Creek Wharf. As well as running public yoga classes for all levels, Simon also specialises in working with elite athletes. His yoga sessions have become part of the regular training regime for premiership-winning Firebirds like Gabby Simpson, as well as the Brisbane Broncos and the Lions. So when you're talking about the thing that might have been missing when you look back at your professional time as an athlete, it was this.
Definitely. I think for me, for those who didn't know, I was a pretty aggressive, over-the-top, full-on, in-your-face type of guy, and I really needed the balance that yoga brings. It brings physicality and strong movements, but for me it was more about the mental side and the meditation side and focusing on the breath to, when there's a tricky situation, rather than flying off the handle, which what I did was, just to be able to deal with that in a calm way. I kind of figure if LeBron James, the greatest athlete on the planet, has his own personal yoga teacher, there's something to it.
Now, for those who remember Simon in his NBL prime, can you believe it's the same man? And he credits it all to finding yoga.
In a stressful world that we live in, everybody's working, paying bills, stressed with kids, whatever it is. You can come here for 60 minutes or an hour and a half, focus on your breathing, focus on meditation, and you just get that stillness and quietness in the mind. I mean, how many times do you sit down and just not think about anything but your breath? And it's pretty powerful,
You said you can live without basketball now after all those years of playing. Do you think you'll ever live without yoga?
I've touched the ball 3 times in 10 years and haven't missed it one bit. But if I was to miss yoga for one day, I would have withdrawals.
If you'd like to discover this 1,000-year-old practice for yourself, Simon invites everyone to enjoy one of his classes. You can find out everything you need to know and a special introductory offer on the Raw Power Yoga website. And for more ways to appreciate this beautiful place we live in, visit Queensland.com and the Queensland Rail travel websites. Shavasana. Arguably the most important pose in yoga and clearly everybody's favourite. It's a great way to seal your practice. Well, that's all we have time for this week. I do hope you've enjoyed the show, and we have the pleasure of your company next week so we can take you somewhere else in the Great Southeast. Until then, stay right where you are. 7 News is up next. Have a great night. Namaste.